Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another subscriber request video. This time we have Matt from Iron Forge, the gym that I go to as well. He asked me to take a look at his deadlift form. So we have two videos that he sent me and we'll kind of break those down. So first we've got a video from the front. This looks to be 435 or so. So looking at this in real time, solid deadlift, good speed. Now, the first thing that I notice is actually your breathing. So if you take a look, he takes a breath and then sits down and he's still taking in the breath, which for me personally, I prefer to get the whole breath in and then sit down. And the reason is whenever you sit down into the rep, it can cinch you off. So if you don't have your breath all the way in, it can cause a little bit of like resistance and rounding over at the back. So I'd almost prefer you to take that breath like, and then set it and then sit down, if that makes sense. Rather than, it looks like you take your breath, your mid-breath, you sit down, and then you finish the breath. So play around with that. That's not a for sure fix, but it could be a change. The other thing is check out your hands. So I do snatch grip deadlifts to purposefully widen my hands and make the deadlift harder. If you look at yours, you can actually bring your hands in so they sit down a little lower, and it'll lessen your range of motion and make your pull more efficient. And I would be willing to guess with some practice with that, you would be able to deadlift more almost instantly. Now we've got a side view. I think this is 475, so a little bit heavier for him here. And taking a look, you can tell it's more difficult. There's a couple things that we can make adjustments here with. So the biggest thing is going to be rounding. It's thoracic rounding. So whenever I say thoracic, I'm talking about the upper back. Now, when you're talking about dangers in the deadlift, it's usually lower back rounding. So I don't think you're in danger of hurting your back here, but as far as some efficiency, see how rounded your upper back is whenever you initiate this pull? It's going to make the bottom a little bit easier, but it'll make the top significantly harder. And if you watch as you commence this deadlift, that's exactly what happens. You kind of fly up to your knees and then you get a little bound up. And that's because the upper back is so rounded over. You have to unround it to finish the pull. So if you watch, this is relatively easy. Once you get past the knees, see how rounded your upper back is still. You have to take that time to unround it. And that can make the top of the pull more difficult. And I went through the same problem early on. So to solve this, I would maybe consider, right, if you bring your hands in, you can then straighten out your upper back a little bit more. And I don't think you'll compromise any speed off the floor because you're increasing that mechanical advantage from bringing your hands closer on your grip like we had talked about. You want your arms to hang straight down. So the second thing from the side view that we can see is whenever it gets tough, you get a little bit pitched forward. And I think part of that has to do with your shoes. So I prefer to wear completely flat-soled shoes. Wrestling shoes tend to be the best in my opinion. And that's because running shoes have a wedge, so they naturally want to force your body forward a little bit. So on this rep, watch the pull and watch as you get toward the top, you get rocked forward onto your toes a little bit. And that can ever so slightly throw your balance off and make it harder to get yourself back behind the bar and finish the lift. You want to more so push through your heels throughout the entire lift. All right, so hopefully that helps. Overall, great pulling, Matt. I appreciate you sending in the video for us to take a look at, and hopefully that helps. Please let me know next time I see you in the gym how these go. I'm looking forward to updates. So thanks to everyone else for watching up until now. Drop a comment down below. What do you struggle with the deadlift? Give a like, subscribe as always, and until next time, happy lifting.